talking about is this theme that brings about change in our attitudes in the way that we are called to live and love. But who is the new you? The new you is the you God intended for you. The you that God created you to be. The you that God desires for you to become. Well, we reflected on this new you spiritually, physically, emotionally, and yet the one that stresses out most people, and in many situations, is the new you financially. A poll of things that stresses out, as people indicates that the number 3 is job, career, and work. Number 2 is personal relationships. And the number 1 way that stresses out more than even number 2 and 3 combined is finances. Many of us are stressed out financially, and yet we want to do more with what we do have, and this causes us even more stress. Just think about your own situation. Is this where you think God intended you to be in this moment in your life? For some people, the answer is no. God wants to bless you, so therefore this also includes your finances. He doesn't want you to drown, and yet you must also feel that God is not responsible for the financial stress you might have either. God wants you blessed, not stressed. And so God gives us a purpose and some principles by which we are to live and relate to others so that we might live well. When you listen to God and honor Him, God will bless you. Why? Because God made you, God loves you, God asks you to follow Him, to listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ and be His. The blessings we receive from God are both tangible and intangible. Tangible that we can touch, and intangible that we can feel. It is up to each one of us to do what God wants us to do with all of them. Paul writes to the church at Corinth and encourages this young church in its faith to carry on sharing the story of Jesus and to be generous as they reach out to help others. Paul wrote, "Since you excel in so many ways in your faith, your gifted speakers, your knowledge, your enthusiasm, and your love for us, I want you to also excel in this gracious act of giving." Well, why is this act of giving so important? God wants you to excel in all you say and do. Faith, speech, love, knowledge, and generosity. Because when you do so in God's name, it reflects God's love for you and your love for God. It honors Him. It honors Him. It puts you in a position where He can bless your life, where you can become the new you financially. People have asked me, well, do you know the financial stuff that's going on in the church? No, just what's shared in the monthly board meetings in the financial statements. And what I give to the church is known only through the treasurer, just like each one of you. Only the treasurer and God knows what you give. And that's the way it should be, because it is your gift to God. Only you and God know how generous you are, and this is something you pray about and discern on your own level. What I'm sharing today is why we give and how we are defined as people of faith, people of God. And as a community where love is shared, no matter our gifts. How are we giving of ourselves in both tangible and intangible ways? God blesses us, and in turn we want to help others because we are loved by God. We want to pay it forward so that the love will be given and will continue in like a chain-like response. CanadaHelps.org is an organization which discerns the health of Canada's charitable sector and how this ties into the health of our country. One of the things they put together is that if people are charitable, it makes a difference in how people are helped in our country. If we are giving to causes that we think are important, people will respond. People will give, say, for example, to the Cancer Society. We want to see changes happen because we don't want people suffering and dying from cancer disease. But when people's gifts drop off or slow down, we just say, what has happened in our country? What's the economic picture? That is a key indicator today about what is going on in our charitable gifts and giving. When we look at how much Canadians give to charities, we might think that everybody gives to charities. Not according to Revenue Canada. Only 34% give to receive charitable status. 34%. 1/3 of the people in Canada. But those who give are generous. Those who give because of the faith they have and what they want to do with that money. This situation is changing because our whole economic system is changing. Why? We have less money overall. So what is affected by all this? When we think about all the charitable gifts and places that you can think of right now, and 183 different organizations right here in the city of Windsor alone, if we're giving less, what's going to happen? Less opportunity to share those gifts. Social programs, religious groups, and churches are all looking at a certain amount of support. But there is good news. There is good news because people are giving because they're giving for a reason. They're giving because they want to see a change in their world, in their community, and within themselves. How does all this affect you as an individual? When we think about giving of yourself and the new understanding of who you are financially, you have to turn to what Jesus said. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your hearts will also be. You give to what you believe in. You give and support what it is that you want to do and see changes. You want to do those kinds of things because of how you feel. You've been affected. You want to help. Where your money goes shows where your heart is. It shows what matters to you most. So giving shows where your heart is. And it draws you closer to God. And only you can answer where those desires of your heart shall lie. Our desires are growing in relationship here as part of this church family. We want to grow in relationship with Jesus Christ because He died and rose from death for our sakes. Glenwood Church is our church family, and we, as we share together, we grow together to give back because we have been blessed. Think about all the blessings you have received because you are a part of Glenwood Church. The prayers, the concerns, not just the hugs and handshakes on a Sunday morning, but the care, the phone calls, the gifts, the blessings of who we are as a church family. To share and show others what it means to love God in word and deed and action is why we support this church. Jesus touched your heart at one point in your life and continues to touch your heart and changes you, and you are continuing to become the person God wants you to be. We're still all under construction. No matter how old we are still growing in our faith together. God has blessed you, and now you want to bless others. Where your heart is, your treasure shall be. You think about all these different expenses we have. We're learning about all these things as we continue to share and grow and continue to be. How are our charitable places in our communities surviving? Well, we read and hear on the news. People are not doing so well. We know of a place that gives out food that was broken into this past week. One of the many shelters and food banks. Broken into and damage caused because people needed help. What is that saying about our community? Where our treasure is. Where is our heart? Then you just say, well, there are people say, well, there's always going to be poor amongst us. Yes, there is. Jesus said that. But how are we reaching out and touching the people who are in need? Our reading from Mark 12 is a story of Jesus. Jesus observing people in the temple. We don't often have Jesus just sitting and watching. We often hear Jesus speaking, and it's through his words that we are inspired to do likewise. But what he is doing, he's watching. He's at the temple, and he's watching the collection box. This is a place where people come in and out all the different times of the day. There would have been community gatherings at set times for prayers, but Jesus is just sitting, watching the collection box. Because people would just drop their money in the box as they come in and go out after times of prayer. So the people are coming and going, and Jesus is watching. His disciples are around him. He sees people dropping in money, whatever kind of money it is. He sees people who are rich. How does he know they're rich? Because of their clothing. And then he sees people who are poor. He sees this woman, a poor widow. Well, how do we know that she is a widow? First of all, the role of women. A woman would not be seen by herself in the temple giving money. It would have been the role of her husband.